Hello, everybody. This is Spiritual Teacher for You. My name is Cassie, and I just recorded a reading, but I felt that there was more. There were more messages that wanted to come out. I just kept hearing, "Turn it back on, turn it back on," and look what's on the bottom of the deck, the star. So I definitely feel that Spirit is wanting me to, yeah, kind of look into. I'm feeling a divine feminine here, wanting me to look into the there. Woof, it feels like there is someone the Spirit is wanting this message to really reach. So I hope that it reaches the person that it's supposed to go to. But it feels like Spirit wants this person to know that you are a star. You are someone who is meant to be in the spotlight, meant to be seen. You're meant to be seen. Your energy is meant to be felt. You are meant to be, I'm getting tingles in my crown now. So you're meant to be someone who works intentionally with spirit. I see the magician in my mind's eye from the tarot. So there's definitely someone, um, and it does feel like a specific person, but I'm also feeling that this is also a collective that I'm feeling, like a small group of the collective that I'm feeling that is meant to be seen, felt, heard, experienced. You're meant to be experienced. So I could be tapping into a healer here. Someone's higher self is what I'm feeling, because this definitely feels like elevated energy to me. Um, they just want you to know something. So let's see if tarot can get the message out that this guide, there's a very pushy energy here wanting me to get this message out. So, Spirit, we're open and we are ready. Okay, give me just a second. Okay, I just felt like I needed to burn some sage there. So, let's get into this now. Okay, Spirit, what do you want this elevated being to know? Okay. Knight of Cups and the Queen of Swords, you guys. So, if I hear she's minding her own business and here he comes. So, I do feel a divine masculine and divine feminine here who are, you are, that is so funny. So, the energy here is of the divine masculine is walking along and the divine feminine is walking along, and here's the divine feminine, here's the divine masculine, and y'all are walking along, but there's this gap here, and y'all are you're moving along in life, but you haven't come into contact because you're still, there's still like energies that y'all are having to work through here. Okay. You're both walking away from something that's been very emotional. There's been something very emotional in your lives, and I feel that you're both, yeah, and it feels like the masculine is very this. Okay, so what I'm feeling is the divine masculine is working through emotions that they've never allowed themselves to work through before, and this can be quite tough. Eight of Cups. Um, it feels like they are wanting to walk away from something that is really emotional, and I'm hearing dramatic for them. Queen of Swords, you are learning so the divine feminine is learning to put boundaries up for themselves. um okay, I didn't realize this was going to be a divine feminine, divine masculine reading, but I felt that as soon. So that is what Spirit's wanting someone to know here, is the love journey that you're on. It feels like that is important for you to know about. So right now there are just these cups here. These cups are just so much emotion. so much emotion, and it's not, they're empty though. They're empty. And there is a abundance of emotion, water flowing right there, but these cups are empty. And you're walking away with the help of a hiking stick. So you have help to help you walk away from this strongly. Okay. Your cups are empty because someone is not filling them up, including you. So it feels like you're walking away from not filling your own cup, and also being around someone who doesn't fill it up, even though they have the capability of doing so. I'm getting a sensation in my left knee, which is the feminine side. So it feels like the feminine is definitely walking away from someone who just is not fulfilling her. Um, Remember, there's no gender in tarot. When I say her, I mean divine feminine, he, divine masculine, but it doesn't mean he or she. It's the energies, okay? Yeah, you're coming into a time of rest because you've been drained for so long. You haven't been fulfilled for so long that. And now I'm feeling a divine feminine who needs to know that someone is coming in to fill these cups. Okay, so I am really feeling the divine feminine very strongly. I'm getting a nauseous feeling here. So this is a time of rest, needing to fill your own cups up, because they just, you've spent a large portion of your life letting other people fill your cups up and not relying on yourself to do it. And that's why you're so easily drained or so easily disappointed, is what I'm hearing. Because you've been relying on others to fill your cups out up, and now you are beginning to realize that you don't need to rely on others, that you yourself have to accept you and have to own who you are and have the confidence in yourself. Okay. And I do see this feminine, like you've been on this journey for a while now. And that's why you're allowed to rest, because you are starting to feel this way. That's why you don't need anyone to fill your cups up anymore, because you've figured out how to do it for yourself. And so you realize the people you've been relying on haven't actually been filling your cup up. They've just been draining your cup. And that's why there's so much water outside of the cups, because they've been draining it from you. This is all the emotions you've poured into others instead of yourself. And you're walking away from that now. You're able to be at peace now because you realize that you can fill your own cup up. It's nobody else's job to do it but yours. But I do sense someone coming in that will happily do it, and not draining from their own cup to fill yours, but y'all fill each other's cup. When they fill your cup up, you fill theirs up. Spirit, can I get confirmation of that, please? I feel like there's someone in your life that you're worried about right now, and that's actually causing not a distraction, but it is causing you to not be able to see too far ahead. You're very focused on the present, so you're not able to see what's ahead. And I think that is divinely orchestrated, because when you look too far into the future, it causes worry and anxiety and stress and that kind of thing. When you are forced to be present, that's when you're fully in the present moment, that's when you feel the most alive. When you are too worried about the future, or you're stuck on the past, you can't be fully in this moment. So your focus and energy is spread. And so in this moment, you feel drained. That's specific for someone. Spirit said, okay, you want confirmation? Here you go. Two of Cups, y'all. That is the exact energy I was feeling, is that you fill their bucket and they fill your bucket. I mean, truly, y'all are both cup fillers. You both emotionally fulfill each other. But there is a place where the divine feminine is going to have to walk away or get away from those that just don't fill their bucket. Page of Wands. So this person is very passionate towards you. They like what they see. They look up to you. They admire you. They want to know what makes you tick, I'm hearing. They want to know what makes you work, what drives you. They want to know your story. They want to know where you came from. This person truly wants to know every little thing they can learn about you, because they want to be able to fully be present in your life, and they want to know what drives you and motivates you so they can be someone who does that with you, for you. um I'm hearing y'all will climb peaks together. You will climb peaks together, and then they don't feel so big. Okay. Yeah, we've got the Six of Cups here. Lots of cup energy. So this is Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer energy. Six of Cups. This is about, look at all these cups that are filled now. Yeah, they're going to want to give you things and provide for you. I'm also getting like childhood stuff here, but I'm not sure exactly what this is. Okay, give me just a second. Interesting. I'm just noticing the buildings in the back, how they kind of look all tattered and torn and weathered, and yet that doesn't stop. So the rather rundown background doesn't stop this person from giving you what you deserve. Like, okay, this isn't, so for someone here, I'm feeling that someone has come from a pretty rough background, but because of that, learned um they've learned that life is about giving and receiving equally. And so when they see someone, so this is someone who's very giving, and when they see someone who's in need and deserves to be given something, because it kind of reminds me of that show, where the boss goes undercover and they act like someone who's just now getting hired at the job, and so they can see the inner workings of the company, of their own company, that they're way above, and and so, and they know that if the boss comes in, everybody's going to treat them like, oh, we're on our best behavior, but if they're undercover, then people will treat them like any other person, right? So this is someone who treats everybody the same. They don't put anyone else above anyone else. When they see a need, they just want to fill it. And so that show is about the boss figuring out who's actually being hard workers, and then they find people who aren't being hard workers. So then at the end of the show, it's exposed that they were the boss, and so some people get fired and some people get a blessing, because they had integrity, they were themselves, and they helped the undercover boss out in a time of need. And so there's just this huge reward I see for someone who you've just lived life with integrity and morals, and being truthful and wanting to help out. You've lived life from your heart, and it feels like you are going to be rewarded for that. It feels like good karma. That's what this feels like. Karma. That's what this card is good. The good karma coming back and rewarding you for all of the good that you've been doing. Because I do sense that you are moving from your heart space, which is a place of love and not fear. So when you move from your heart space, you follow that feeling of, I know I need to do this and I'm going to do it. And I want everyone to feel loved because I have love to give them, right? We've got the Chariot here and the Emperor. So the Chariot is about movement. So, and with the Emperor coming right out, it feels like this is that divine masculine coming to you. Give me just a second with these energies. Yes. Wow. Just look at these two cards. And there's that yellow and orange again for that solar plexus. And so they admire your confidence, actually. That's what I'm seeing. They admire your confidence. And it actually is what is attracting them to you because they see your heart. They see how you're moving forward. They know, they just can tell you're somebody they want to get to know. And that they don't, I feel like this magnetic pull towards them that they don't know. They just see themselves drawn to you and they just find themselves moving towards you and don't even know why. There's just this magnetic pull that I'm feeling. It feels like they see you, but you may not. Hold on, let me see this. They see you. So you must be someone who is out there for people to see. Give me a second. Let's see what this energy is, okay? Temperance. Whoa, that's so interesting. So, as I'm trying to look, you saw me doing this movement because the ring light here is shining light on the Chariot and the Emperor, and it's like, and I'm trying to see the details of the Emperor card and the Chariot, and I could easily move the cards, but I was sitting here going, I can't see the card, it's too bright. So there's something there about not seeing it coming, or I don't know. But Temperance came out here, so I am getting immediately Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Michael here. Okay, and I see how it's filling the cup. So there's definitely, and I'll probably put something in the title dealing with filling a cup because there's several references here about doing that. Just fulfillment. Now I'm getting Amazon fulfillment. So maybe somebody works at Amazon or likes to order things from Amazon. You might have a package coming soon. There may be a package on your doorstep right now. That's funny. Temperance. Yeah, this is also patience, and that triangle in there on their heart space is really, so triangle is about community. It's also about, I'm getting the Holy Spirit, God, Jesus, and also mind, body, spirit. So there's something about connection here with not just spirit, but also the earthly realm and yourself. So there's something about you, spirit, and nature, earth. You, spirit, and earth are coming into a agreement, I feel. Yes. Okay. So this is what I'm feeling now is, was it this reading or the last? So the last reading, you may want to check it out. There was lots of abundance. So it feels like that abundance is coming here. And there's just this whole, like, everybody connects that's supposed to connect in order for what? Let's see what comes next. In order for what? What is the big plan here? It feels mysterious. I hear spirit saying, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. With the 9 of Swords coming out there. Don't worry about it. You just keep moving, and the way you're moving now, let them take care of the rest. And that's part of that connection, that agreement that I feel is that, you know, when you assign jobs, you don't go to the other person's job and say, "Are you doing the job right? Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing?" You know, you worry about your part in the assignment, right? So that's what this feels like. Is spirit's gonna take care of what it needs to take care of. You take care of what you need to take of, and Mother Gaia will take care of what they're gonna take care of. So you have your role to fulfill. You don't worry about the rest of it. Yeah. Two of Swords is about making a decision, making a choice. And it feels like this choice has something to do with something you haven't been able to see in the past. Could be what you're worried about too here with the Nine of Swords. So lots of thoughts here, lots of anxiety. What is this? This is air. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. We do have the moon coming out on this Two of Swords, which I noticed right away, and it's a crescent moon. For those of you that are into moon energy, this could be a time of looking into the different moon phases and where you can line up with the energy of the different moon phases in order to help you make this decision. Because there's nothing I can say that will help you with this decision. It feels like you're making a choice of balance or imbalance. And it feels like you already know what will balance you, but there's just something that is stopping you from making that choice of balance. Yeah, there it is, the moon. This could be Pisces, someone who has Pisces in their chart. I definitely see you, the towers there coming, standing out to me. It just feels like it's decision time. Yeah. And I'm getting to look at all sides of the picture. Look at all sides, because we've got the dog and the wolf there, and then we have the crab. Not crab. What's it called? It's not a lobster. Crawfish. There we go. In the water. So this is also look to your dreams. I'm hearing look to your dreams for clues, for just, you know, information from spirit that they can't quite communicate to you and when you're awake. So they wait until you're in the dream state to give you some clues about, you know, just kind of open you up and change your perspective a little. And there it is. And the moon was kind of like a warning, I felt, because remember I said the two towers right there, and then there's the tower coming on out. So definitely a moment of clarity comes in, a big lightning bolt of clarity. Okay. It was like, Spirit was like, stop talking. Stop talking and wait. And then out pops the Knight of Pentacles. So after this moment of clarity, I really see you moving towards what? Moving towards what? The Pentacle is about earthly things, money, material things. But that doesn't feel like where you are trying to go. So what is this? Knight of Pentacles. I noticed that they're standing still. Okay. Okay, so this feels like someone who has an offer, but it doesn't feel like an offer that goes anywhere. It feels like an empty offer because look, even the pentacle sitting there is the same color as the background, so you can see right through it. So you can see right through it. But yeah, so it's a transparent. It's an empty offer. They're offering something to try to I don't know. What is this? But they're just standing still. So it's like an offer with no action. It's all words. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Do I need a different deck? No. They just said be patient. Patience. Yeah, with temperance coming out, patience is a big thing here. Okay, we've got Queen of Wands and the Empress. You know, it's funny because I see the Queen of Wands and the Empress very similar to each other. But when they come out together, actually I've never had this happen before. So let me fill into this a little bit. The Queen of Wands, I immediately got like mother energy. So it feels like someone in your life may almost kind of represent a mother to you, but I feel that you see them as magical. Um and they have a lot of like, is wisdom the right word? I just feel like you watch them and you watch how they move and you watch how they interact, and not just interact with people but interact with the world. And yeah, there's someone you would say has a green thumb, and they definitely, animals flock to them. They just feel like someone who's in tune with the magic of the universe, right? And so you are this empress, this divine feminine who is coming into her own, and you see this woman, but oh, that's what this energy is. But and you're looking at the Queen of Wands is like, oh man, I want to be just like them. But there's this message I'm feeling from spirit that you're even more like, you're the Empress. The Empress is the highest card of, like, as far as like elevation in tarot. The Empress is the divine feminine. It's when you have self actualized, when you have reached your highest potential. And so it's like you're looking at the Queen of Wands like, oh, I want to be like her, but you're even more. I don't want to say above, that sounds so, but you're even more. You're capable of even more than the Queen of Wands, if that makes sense. So this almost feels like when Neo from the Matrix, or no, actually, you know what it feels like? It feels like Trinity looking at Neo as the one, right? But what happens in the very end of the Matrix, it actually turns out that Trinity is also the one. So she's looking at Neo like, oh man, you're the one, the chosen one. You have all these abilities. You can see stuff we can't. And then all of a sudden Trinity is actually the one. And so that is the exact energy I feel here, is you're looking at this person like they have it all together, that they're everything you've ever wanted to be. And it's like spirit's like, no, 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 girl, you don't even know. You don't even know. Wow, that's amazing energy. So it's hard to know that you're Empress if you don't feel that way, or you're in this constant state of comparison, comparing your self to others' selves when there should be no comparison at all. Whoa, what is this? That was weird. Okay. I noticed this sitting over here looking at me, but I swear I saw this kind of same image in the cards, but now I can't find it. I don't know. That was weird. But I do feel like I was drawn to this because there's a message here of there are signs that you are this Empress. There are signs, and I think I'm actually going to make a separate video about those signs, because I am only feeling like one big sign is how connected you feel to nature, or how animals interact with you, is a real big clue as to your energy, because animals can feel things that we don't. They go by energy, they go by how they feel versus what people say and talk. um Think about when you use a certain tone with them. You could be cussing them out, but you use a certain tone and they're just loving to you, even though you may be saying horrible things to them. So there's something here about the tone, the frequency that you vibe at. Um, okay. I'm also getting that energy, like you're very sensitive to energy, and that to just protect your energy, because of the sensitivity that you had, you're going to be feeling things even more intensely, and they're going to affect you even more intensely. So there is something here about protecting your energy for sure. Okay, anything else? The animals are like, hey, you mentioned us, and yet you don't even, yeah, they're calling to me. But I want these ones. I just hit my knee and it hurt. Okay. Animals, what do you want to say today? Okay. 31:01 on the clock. And, out that popped. Let me get it real quick. With that 3, that is the number of the Empress, is that 3. And 101, I do feel that, 1 being a very independent number, a number of freedom, a number that represents just coming into balance. Or, why did I say that? Because 2 is the number for coming into balance. Oh, it was the 101. Well, that 0 though is pointing out to me as something like a cycle. Like, yes, that's what it is. It's like a cycle ending and a new cycle beginning. Okay, we've got beaver spirit. Oh my god, it's so cute. Beaver spirit, the number 6, lay a solid foundation. Yeah, how they build their dam, literally out of sticks and anything that's around them. You know, I'm getting that they pick their location first and then build from the resources around them. And man, their homes be very strong, cuz they have to think about the water flowing, and water is very strong, so they have to build something strong enough to withstand the flow of water. So I'm getting something here about withstanding the flow of emotions. You have to build something solid in yourself to be able to handle the flood of emotions that you're going to be feeling as the Empress. And remember, emotions is energy in motion. So these are supposed to flow through you. You acknowledge the emotion. You say, okay, I feel you. Where are you coming from? Why am I feeling you? And you go, okay, I figured it out. Now I release you. Emotions are not meant to stay in our bodies, because that's what leads to sickness and illness. They are meant to move through our bodies. I'm getting emotional right now. So someone here is feeling emotional in their heart space. And now it feels like it's moving up into my throat. So there is something on your heart that is meant to be said out loud. And that energy feels like whatever it is that you're needing to say, it feels like something that is going to move energy. Does that make sense? Like when you say it will create a ripple effect. I'm almost getting what's that movie with Ashton Kutcher and about time? Butterfly Effect? Was it Ashton Kutcher? I don't know. Anyways, the butterfly effect, like he went, I don't know why that's coming. That didn't seem, because that movie's about like him changing the course of events just by one single action, right? I'm remembering the mailbox and it being blown up, and like there was a kid or something. I don't know. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But just know that your words have power, and when they choose to come out of your mouth, that is the frequency that you're putting out there. That's the energy that you're putting out there. So once they leave your mouth, once you choose to let it leave your mouth, that is the energy you've chosen to put out there, if that makes sense. So there's something here about needing to have a solid foundation like the beaver, so that when emotions flow through you, you're not just spitting out whatever emotions flowing through you. You're deciding which emotion which emotion should come out, like which emotion should come out. Oh, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Spirit, if I'm not, help me here. And then we've got the armadillo spirit. And guess what number is out there? That number 3. So if that's not the third confirmation now for the Empress here, armadillo is about setting healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries. Some people set too many boundaries and they're not open to new things or new ideas or just even a different kind of thinking, because they've set such rigid boundaries. And so this is about the health. The word healthy is really jumping out to me, because setting healthy boundaries means you have decided what feels good in your soul and your spirit. And when someone butts up against those boundaries that you've set, you either decide like, hey, that doesn't feel good, so no. Or you decide like, this could be a thing. And so you allow it in. So some of you, I'm just getting something about soft and hard boundaries here. Setting soft boundaries where you're still kind of open, but you've got your guard up. Like maybe the guard on duty is not so like strict for those boundaries. But then for your hard boundaries, you've got soldiers lined up. There's no way. No, this is like your hard, like, nah. If you want to push this boundary, you're not the one for me. Okay. So figure out what your soft and hard boundaries are and stick to those. Stick to the hard ones, because they're there for a reason. And that means something really is not jiving with you. If I just feel like someone is butting up against your hard boundaries and it's really throwing you off. Like you're like, what? And it could be someone you really care about is what I'm feeling. So, and that confuses you, because you're like, wait a second, this person cares about me. Wouldn't they like listen to me when I put this boundary up? And so just, I don't have an animal saying this, but maybe I do. It's just be gentle, but also be firm. Kind of like this Queen of Swords. Yes, that's why the Queen of Swords came out, because that is about setting boundaries. I mean, that sword is in front of her, but yet she has her hand open. So there's soft boundaries, hard boundaries there. Yeah, just be this Queen of Swords. Like, you're very compassionate, nurturing, but if somebody's butting up against your hard boundaries, then the Queen of Swords will come on out and they'll know real quick. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I've ever gotten this card before. The White Raven Spirit. Wow, that's really cool actually, and that's a number 66. 6s and 3s you might be seeing, because that's what's been repeated a lot in this reading. The Lovers is the number 6. Yeah. So White Raven says trust in the magic. Yeah, because you normally see black ravens, black crows, especially when there's a cycle ending. That's the animal that, and now there's a cardinal. So beautiful, landing on my willow tree. Aww. That's such a good picture right there. Okay, he flew away. All right, trust in the magic. To me, that was magical right there. That a card. Oh, and there's the female. The male was on the willow tree and the female's up high looking now. Okay. All right, guys, I think I'm going to end there. That is enough for now. And with the white raven coming in to say, trust in the magic, trust in the flow of energy, trust where you feel most drawn to. Um, yeah. And some things come and go, you know? All right. That is all. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. And yeah, if you want to check me out on Etsy, where I have most of my readings offered there, you can check that out to order a reading. Also, there's other things I have on there like channeled art and guided meditations, just whatever you feel you need at this time uh, to guide you. And it's hard to tell what you need to do or what insights are there that you're not quite clearly seeing because of you're in the thick of everything. That's where someone like me who can feel energy and stuff comes in. So if you feel like you want to figure out the energies in your life, I can probably help you out with that. Okay. All right, guys, much love and light to you. Bye.